Okay, so LEGO just officially revealed all the Jurassic World 2026 sets. These all release August 1st, 2026, except there's one that releases on the 1st of June and one that releases on the 7th of May. While we got a preview of a lot of these other sets, the one we didn't get any look at before was this Mosasaurus Dinosaur Boat Attack, which gives us the first ever molded Mosasaurus for the modern Jurassic theme. The last time we got a specifically molded Mosasaurus was back in, 2000 with that dino theme, which, yeah, the design of LEGO has changed so much since then. I think this looks good. I mean, this is like the best angle of it, to be honest. Like, I was looking at this picture, I'm like, oh, this looks chunky, but it's just kind of an illusion of our eyes by how this specific photo is shot. I love the sculpt and how intricate it gets. I mean, down to the teeth at the front there, which the jaw you could open and close. You got those big flipper-like fins right there. Even the tail has some independent articulation, which you could seemingly sway back and forth. That's connected with seemingly a Technic pin right there. All the sculpts on here are completely new, which I do appreciate. I figured the budget for that new dinosaur design is why this is a 703-piece set. That's $100. Gosh, does this look small for a $100 set, but I mean, LEGO sets are overpriced nowadays anyways. The rest of the set is fine. I mean, we got a Mosasaurus Boat Attack from Jurassic World Rebirth, which is exactly how you could describe this set last year. So this could be one of the shortest remakes for a set, but you do got to keep in mind that these are two different boats. This isn't the boat that we see for, like, a third of the movie when they have, like, the Jaws knockoff. That was in the last set, even though that was really out of scale, if you ask me. I'm not even sure when this boat appears in the movie. Somebody will have to point this out. Not even sure when this helicopter appears either. But hey, for a generic boat and helicopter, they're not bad designs. I do like the orange and dark red color scheme, which is a color coding I haven't seen in LEGO Jurassic World before, or even for a boat build like this. I like the helm they got going on there, though the deck in general is pretty small for space to fit minifigures. There's a crane system at the side, which they also include this little underwater drone, which is kind of fun. Of course, you could have the Mosasaurus bite that, and then you have the helicopter build, which the helicopter build is fine. You know, it seems like so many other ones. The only thing really differentiating it from other ones in this theme is the color scheme. You can see on these 2x2 sloped pieces, there's the Jurassic logo on both sides. This device right here is seemingly stickered, and then also in the actual helm part, we have like a little navigation board that seems to be a sticker. The minifigures. Getting the Mahershala Ali character in a set that's $60 cheaper than the only way to get him last year is great. And they went hard on this minifigure. I love getting the beret in that dark green, which is going to be incredibly useful. It's the first time we're getting it in that color. But also, the torso's awesome with the Hawaiian shirt that has minifigures and bricks on there. That's really fun. And then these dual molded legs right here, which I love the pants color, and then you have leg printing with the little sandals at the very bottom. Really awesome minifigure, and definitely the best of the set, but even the Scarlett Johansson character's minifigure works. See, this movie didn't stick with me because I don't remember the individual character names, but this is the first time we're getting this black hat with this color ponytail, so I love getting a new hair hat combo color. But once you get past that, the design of the torso we saw in sets last year, and then the design of Jonathan Bailey's character is seemingly the same that was found in sets like that big $160 set from last year. So yeah, overpriced, sure. I would expect that for a set that includes a chunky dino with a bunch of new pieces. I'm glad that we actually get a specifically molded Mosasaurus to compare with last year's brick-built Mosasaurus. So you have both options going on here. Personally, I don't know. I mean, I like the brick-built one and I like the molded one. They're two different styles, but both work to their own accords. Which is actually the same thing that they're doing with the Spinosaurus right here. We're getting a brick-built Spinosaurus, which is in the style of the brick-built Mosasaurus from last year, but last year we got a specifically molded Spinosaurus. So it's kind of like the inverse is going on with these two dinosaurs between these four sets. With this being brick-built, the price of this doesn't feel too ridiculous. I mean, I'm looking at it from a price per piece ratio perspective where it works, where this is 820 pieces for $75. Now, the design of this and sizing, though, with everything included, does feel like something that looks like a $50 set. Anyways, I'll express my same problems I had with the Spinosaurus when I first saw it with the teasers that LEGO posted. I think something like the Mosasaurus worked a little bit better, where this looks a bit strange in the simplicity of this back part right here. I don't know, I don't love the design going on there, especially in these official pictures. I felt that more strongly this time than seeing those teaser images. It's kind of hard to get around because, you know, the thickness of the Lego brick is something that you can't really avoid, and it seems like that part is a bit too thick. It gives it a very blocky look, and then the face right here is pretty robotic if you ask me. I actually don't mind how they did the eye section right here, which is seemingly a print, but I have more problems with how they did the mouth right here. This bottom section of the mouth really doesn't work for me. Like, it needs more curvature on this bottom part. I wish the grays were blent better, and I don't know if I love this 1x4 piece for the bottom set of teeth. Regardless, I actually like the design of the feet and the legs, which I think have a nice curvature captured in this section that uses these specific pieces of those 2x2 slope pieces and those 2x2 corner circle pieces. The design of the tail was fine. I just wish they concealed and smoothed out those ball joint sections a little bit more, but it's kind of hard to do that and still keep articulation because it just looks kind of weird when you have these really narrow sections in between these thick sections right here. I like the articulation with the arms, and I wouldn't change anything there. It seems like there's even some more printing right here, which is nice. As for the actual gate setup, you know, we've seen Jurassic World sets with gates before, and this is another breakout gate where you could have the dino smash through the front, which are connected with like a one stud connection. It's really not an interesting build to me. I actually like the use of the shrieking pieces right here for like the barbed wire on the fence. And I find it very weird that there's just like a 2x4 tile that says LEGO Jurassic Park. Why is that there? I mean, it's something you could easily remove. I like that we get that print, but like, was that necessary? Like, this is already a playset build on its own. That's almost world breaking. Again, not a problem that's included because you could easily remove that, but it's just funny. I guess so that you could just display that on its own with the brick built dino. I don't know. And then on the side right here, I love that we get this dinosaur egg, which looks similar to the crocodile one we got, but it has a new print, and even a frog in a more uncommon color. I think the overgrowth pieces add a lot, and I love getting this motorcycle in like an olive green. That's really nice, and I think that's the first time we're getting it in that color. And the minifigures really solidify this being a Jurassic Park 3 set, which, whew, when was the last time we got Jurassic Park 3 sets? Way back in 2001 when I was a kid, and yeah, this one was nostalgic to me. You get Alan Grant from that movie, which we've gotten plenty of Alan Grants before. I think the torso is new, and also you get Billy, who I barely remember, but hey, I think the torso there is new. The face print's a very overused one. Then we have this 4+ set, which is the Velociraptor, Stegosaurus, Pteranodon, and Rescue, and yeah, this would be cool at $30, but this is $50. LEGO loves overpricing 4+ sets. Like, why is this $40? Regardless, the design of this set is a set with a lot of interesting dino recolors. Using ones from the Spidey and his Amazing Friends dino sets from last year. Like this one right here is the Stegosaurus for Miles Morales, this time with a new recolor and printing. Hey, that's much appreciated. I love getting new dino in LEGO with, you know, different prints and colors. Same with this baby Pteranodon, which was Ghost Spider before, and you got a whole recolor here. I like the young Velociraptor, which is adorable. Great color scheme going on there and pattern. And then the baby Velociraptor, which we've gotten plenty of times before, also has a new pattern. So that's the main draw of the set to me, but the minifigures aren't bad either. If you like Chris Pratt characters, there's a new Chris Pratt face exclusive to the set, so you use that for Star-Lord and such. Torso print is seemingly new as well. And Kayla comes in this set, which is a much more accurate version of her than the one we got in the original Jurassic World Dominion set. Love the use of that hair piece. Love the torso print. Yeah, that's a new face print. That's a new hair color. There's not much to point out with the build. It's very simple and forgettable if you ask me, and it looks like a billion other 4+ sets. It has a print for like a dinosaur x-ray, and you can kind of give it more of an x-ray feel with like this sliding red panel piece. I don't know. Okay. And then, yeah, there's like a little waterfall, there's a treetop section, and there's a 4+ Jurassic World helicopter, which we've gotten a billion times before, just with a slightly different build this time around. Nice with the 2x2 Jurassic Park print. I like how it's that styling instead of, say, a Jurassic World print. That's not the only 4+ Jurassic Park set this wave. This one is based off of Jurassic Park The Lost World, which is our first ever Jurassic Park The Lost World set. That's kind of crazy. I mean, I'm not counting that Steven Spielberg Movie Maker set, which was kind of an indirect tie-in. This includes Ian Malcolm, and it's the design for Ian Malcolm we've never gotten before. Like, that's a new face print, torso print, and also Sarah Harding, which I think the torso print's the only new part there. Very overused face print, but I do like getting that ponytail piece in orange, which doesn't come in too many sets. It's cool to get Lego Julianne Moore. She's in so many amazing movies, but yeah, I wish they had a more distinct face print for her. The design here also has a new dinosaur, which gives us another variant of a dinosaur mold that was introduced into Spidey and his Amazing Friends 4+ sets. I think that looks really fun. It almost gives me some Land Before Time vibes. These new dinosaur 4+ pieces are much more cartoony. The build is pretty forgettable, which, yeah, I wish this was a set that was, you know, not 4+, so that we could actually get this specific vehicle in a regular design without like the 4+ framing there. That makes it look so simple. But hey, at the very least, you get this front part on a 2x4 printed. So that's a pretty cool new print. You get that 2x2 with the Jurassic Park logo we were talking about before. You can remove that little back part for a small trap, and I like how they're luring with a hot dog. And then there's even like this little side buggy right here. I'm also interested in this 2x2 print of Isla Nublar, which I believe is exclusive to this set with that design, so that's pretty cool. Is it worth $30 though, which is the price? Not really. I mean, this looks like something that would have been $20 like a couple of years ago, but that's a much better value for this set than the last set which we looked at, which was $50. Then there's the baby dinosaur Pteranodon, which is a $30 set with 373 pieces. This is just adorable. I love the blue color scheme they have going on here, the big cutesy eyes. I do think it looks a little bit weird when you have it in the standing up position, but when it's flying, it's just about perfect. Love getting the Wolverine claws in blue. That's a first. And then there's like a little side build of this squid right here, which is adorable as well. Honestly, this is pretty distinct, and it might be my favorite of the baby dinos. That color scheme really goes hard with the blue, but I do love Pteranodons and Pterodactyls quite a bit. The sizing definitely seems more like a $20 or $25 set, but if you're a price per piece ratio person, I guess it's worth the $30 price. The dino actually has some pretty good articulation with the head where you could twist it around, and it seems like pushing the button activates the wings flapping. Honestly, that's really awesome. And then we have the two sets that we saw kind of partially revealed a couple weeks ago. I don't know, LEGO was weird with revealing these Jurassic World sets for this year. The Jeep Wrangler is $200 with 1,924 pieces. And with this reveal, I'm learning that there's 4 different builds for this Jeep, which I really appreciate. That is awesome. You have the Jeep 10, you have the Jeep 29, you have the Jeep 18, and the Jeep 12 to match different ones from different scenes. I love that. You can see slightly different builds, usually with the canopy and, of course, with the sticker right there where they have the corresponding number. Thank you, LEGO, for doing that. That was something a lot of us wanted, and I was afraid they would just have one version. There's loads of extra stickers to fit the corresponding variant you want. They give extra pieces for those stickers, which is awesome, so that you don't have to make one choice, then ruin it once you want to change the design. No, you get those extra pieces, which you can see in these pictures right here. Other details that I didn't notice before is that Dennis Nedry has 2 different face prints. So you have one with an open mouth and frightened look. This one having the Dilophosaurus venom on the face. And then you have one with still showing teeth, but a more closed kind of I guess half there smile, like a yeah, don't kill me smile, which that's great. Of course, corresponding to this scene. You have the Barbasol can once again, which we got with the last Dennis Nedry set. The build here, I mean, I'm not really a creator expert person for these like creator expert vehicles, but I do appreciate them, and I think they did a great job capturing this iconic vehicle. The front and the hood are great. I do wish we got a better shot of the overhead of the hood, though. It seems like there's some stickers on there, which is something you could actually lift up at the front there. There's a detailed engine, which you could access from opening up the hood. I like the windshield wiper builds using that Harry Potter wand piece. The interior is pretty comfy and spacious. And I kind of wish that we had swappable stickers for those side mirrors. I do like how they have the T-Rex in the side view mirror. That's a classic scene. There's also a working winch, which is nice. And at the back, the spare tire can be twisted for a steering feature, which is really cool. There's also removable boxes you could add to the back. And there's even a side platform, which has the direction design for the east dock. Of course, this is specifically tied to the Nedry death scene. That's actually something we got a minifigure scale build of with the last Nedry set. There's even a little stand right here, which has the info and the Jeep logo. And then the build for Dennis Nedry, like I said, is new with the face print and everything. One thing I forgot to mention, though, is that that's the first time we're getting that hood piece in yellow. So yeah, I love the customization options here. I think it's worth $200. And the last set is this $110 Dinosaur Fossils Triceratops set. Once again, this releases on June 1st. This is an 18 plus fossil set, much like what we got last year with the T-Rex set. Except that T-Rex set was $250 with 3,145 pieces. So this set retails for $150 less for nearly 2,000 pieces less. It's interesting because if you look, this is much smaller in scale than the T-Rex, which yes, T-Rex are a bigger dinosaur, but even compared to the scale what we would expect between those two creatures back in the day, it does seem like they're just changing up the scale between these two. On one hand, I like that this is more affordable, and if you look at this, there's not a compromise in the design. Sure, just about every detail is a tad simpler, but it doesn't feel like this is compromised a half-baked build. This still looks beautiful. My only problem would be that this will look out of scale compared to the T-Rex skeleton, which I do like displaying on my shelf. However, I'm glad more people will be able to afford this one. It's interesting because they did release that Triceratops skull set from last year, and that's a completely different scale, as if it was going to be released in the scale of that T-Rex skeleton set. So it's like that whole part is incomplete and we'll never see the rest of that build there. Beautiful build aside for the actual dinosaur fossil. The design of this stand has a little info page right here, which unfortunately looks like it's a sticker. But my favorite part of the set is that we get Dr. Harding. This is a character from the original Jurassic Park movie that we've never gotten before in LEGO form, which is kind of rare. Like, we usually get the same couple characters, which, you know, are the iconic ones. But yeah, this is the guy who is treating the diseased Triceratops. And I absolutely love the minifigure here. Like, they went hard on this, I guess, less popular character, where you have a really awesome printed Jurassic Park hat right there. Like, I could see that just being used for sig figs. I love the dual molded outfit, which seemingly has a printing on the side of the arm, Jurassic Park logo, and what I believe is a new face print altogether. That's pretty cool. I find it funny that you get Dr. Harding and his daughter in this wave. Oh, and there's some other pretty scenery on the stand. I will be buying this. I think $110 is a good price. I'm just really curious to see how this looks in person next to the T-Rex skeleton, which again, I love. Let me know what is your favorite of these sets in the comments below. It's kind of funny because I think the best sets are the ones that aren't minifigure scale, but the minifigure scale stuff has the most interesting stuff to me because I'm a minifigure person and I'm somebody who loves LEGO dinosaurs in minifigure scale. And while there isn't any new dinosaurs in this wave, there's all these new variants of dinosaurs, which is kind of an interesting change up. Subscribe here for more LEGO news and commentary, and I'll see you later. Seriously, you clicking that subscribe button, clicking that like button, and leaving a comment helps so much because the algorithm stinks. Bye.